Hello students, now we will start with new topic, that is biodiversity and conservation. Biodiversity can be defined as the variations that happen in living organisms, but not only at species level but at all levels of organizations. All levels of organizations, in the sense starting from the molecular level till the formation of a bio. Biodiversity refers to variations in living organisms not only at species or particular level but at different levels of organizations. If we take the sequence of developing of an organism, first priority goes to macromolecules, which form into cells, which form into tissues, which form into organs. Organs are combinedly forming into organ system, these form into organisms. These organisms will be converted into populations. Few populations constitute one community. In terms of species, if we differentiate the populations from community, one population has only one type of species or same species. One population has one type of species. Here we can use same type of species. Then how these populations are getting converted into communities? Different populations, in the sense different species, will be included at one geographical area. Different populations with their own species constitutes into communities. These communities, they form into ecosystem. Ecosystem, we can tell it is a small geographical area with different species or different types of organisms. Ecosystem is of a small geographical area. Many such ecosystems constitutes into biome. Biome is a large geographical area with different types of organisms. So at each level there can be some variations that lead to different types or biodiversity in the organisms. The term biodiversity is given by Walton G. Russell. Biodiversity is popularized by Edward Wilson. Edward Wilson is considered to be a sociobiologist, means the person who explains behavior of organisms in terms of evolution. So Edward Wilson is a sociobiologist. How did he popularize the biodiversity? By giving explanations of different levels of organizations but Here the levels are different. First one is genetic diversity, which is also called as alpha diversity. Second one, species diversity, which is also called as beta diversity. Ecological diversity, which is the third one, or ecological variations, which is also called as gamma diversity, etc. So these are the three different types of major levels of variations explained by Edward Wilson. First one, genetic diversity. Here we see the variations at gene level. Here variations are read at gene level. According to NCERT, they have given different varieties of some fruits, some grains, etc. We will see those. It was said that there are 1,000 varieties of mangoes. Next, 50,000 varieties of rice. Another example given in NCERT is Rauwolfia vomitoria. It is found in Himalayan regions and it is one of the medicinal plant. Rauwolfia vomitoria, seen in Himalayan regions and it is a medicinal plant. Means how it is used in the medicine. So different species of Rauwolfia are there, and these are majorly used in treatment of hypertension. In treatment of hypertension. Another one during snake bite and also during cholera. So this Rauwolfia vomitoria, it is differentiated at genetic level. The genes, they will undergo transcription, translation and produces the proteins. So here the concentration of the secretions, nothing but a type of poisonic or some types of alkaloids are secreted by different species of Rauwolfia varieties, and those are differed basing on the concentrations. We can write here different species of this plant secretes alkaloids of different concentrations. Here we can also use the term like potency of the alkaloid or of the chemical that is secreted by Rauwolfia species. This alkaloid, it can be termed as reserpine. From which part of this Rauwolfia species is this reserpine obtained? It is obtained from root and bark of plant. It is reserpine is obtained from root and bark of the plant, Rauwolfia plant. If we see other example or other variety of this Rauwolfia, Rauwolfia serpentina. It is also called as Indian snake root. It is also called as devil's pepper. Basically, it is a milkweed. Milkweed means it is poisonic in nature to the human beings. It should be used only as a chemical for different types of treatments, but it should not be consumed. So these milkweeds should not be consumed. We have seen Rauwolfia vomitoria seen in Himalayan regions. Where is this Rauwolfia serpentina seen? Actually, it is of Indian native plant. You can also give a term like native of India. But when one species is seen in Himalayan regions, this species is seen in subcontinent and East Asia. Indian subcontinent and East Asia. If we go for some MCQ like points, we can say this Rauwolfia serpentina is a perennial shrub. It means it gives out either its flowers or some secretions or its fruits, whatever the reproductive structures are there, throughout the year. Second one is species diversity or species variations or beta diversity. Here we will read the variations or the differences or the diversities at a species level. The variations are read at number of a species level. For example, according to NCERT, one example is there that is regarding the species of amphibians in Western Ghats when compared to Eastern Ghats. So species of amphibians show more variations or diversities in Western Ghats when compared to Eastern Ghats. Means the variations in the amphibians in Western Ghats, it is very, very high. Third one is ecological diversity or ecological variations. Here we read the diversity or the variations in both terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems. It explains the variations in both terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems. According to NCERT, few examples given are, so we'll write this one. This is also called as gamma diversity. So examples read are, there is in India, biodiversity is more comparing to that of Scandinavian countries. India is rich in diversity comparing to Scandinavian countries. Scandinavian countries are nothing but North European countries. And North Atlantic regions. Here, Scandinavian the term, it means that it is one of the place in Sweden, and here we see few countries names like example Denmark, Norway, and Finland, Sweden, etc. So totally there are 7 Scandinavian countries. Here we don't need those, so I'm not mentioning all those countries. Just for suppose example, what is meant by Scandinavian? Scandinavian is the term given to one of the specific geographical area in Sweden. Now all of them are considered under Scandinavian countries. So here in India, we see different ecosystems. Like deserts, forests, mangroves, coral reefs, wetlands, estuaries, alpine meadows, etc. Ecosystems like deserts, wetlands, estuaries, coral reefs, forests, alpine meadows. Alpine means higher altitude areas. So this is about different major levels of variations or diversities. According to IUCN, it is an organization. Its full form is International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. Many students used to think that I refers to international. Up to there it is correct. U refers to union. That is also correct. But C is referring only to conservation and N for nature. No. C means conservation of nature. N means natural resources. Better remember these 4 alphabets. So, according to IUCN, in 2004, it is one of the organizations which used to do surveys and studies. According to 2004 analysis, the organism diversity, organisms described or studied are only 1.5 millions. But out of those 1.5 millions of various or varieties of organisms, only 70% are considered under animals and 22% are of plants. Out of this, 70% are animals and 22% are plants. The remaining may be microbes, etc. Now, where is this headquarters of IUCN? Headquarters is in Switzerland. One area called as gland is there. There, this organization is existed. It is estimated that the total number of species on Earth are of 20 to 50 millions. But a person called as Robert May, he estimated that there are only 7 millions of species. It was estimated that total species on Earth are of 20 to 50 millions only. But person called as Robert May, he estimated that there are 7 millions of species diversity. There is 7 millions of species diversity.